Hey, my Melanin Beauties. Welcome back to the channel. I am just sitting on my couch, just came back in from my walk. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of being a full-time content creator. I'm so excited to talk about this. If you did not know, I have been a full-time content creator for the past 6 years. I have started during COVID and I love it here, okay? And I just wanted to share some of my experiences. For those of you guys who are interested in creating content, I'm always going to tell you, go for it. I believe everybody should be a content creator. And in fact, on my other YouTube channel, I talk a lot about being a content creator, things to do and all of the things. So make sure you check that out. So the very first pro of being a content creator is freedom over your time. Okay. Being free is by far the most amazing feeling ever. I get to do what I want, when I want, how I want to do it. And this is coming from a woman who had a 9-to-5 and I hated it. Okay. Some people love their jobs. I don't know what that feels like. I have never had a job that I loved or that I was even content with. Every single job that I had, I absolutely hated. I hated management and management hated me. Okay. So it was an equal level of hate. And when I had my 9-to-5, I had got that job when I was 23. I was fresh out of college and I thought that was going to be my dream job. Like, oh my God, I got my first adult job, full-time job. Post-college graduation, I thought I had arrived. I thought the whole American dream was going to take place, and it was a complete shit show. I hated it. I don't even know how I made it through 6 years there because I was absolutely miserable. And now here I am running my 24 hours. I love having freedom over my time. I get to go live when I want. So if you do check out my other YouTube channel, I go live on there and I love being able to create my own schedule. I'm a morning person. I have the most energy first thing in the morning. I'm up around 2 a.m. so that I can get some steps in, so that I can lift before I get on live. And I'm typically on live by like 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard. And I love that schedule for me because when I get off of live, I'm pretty much done by like 9 a.m. I have the rest of the day to do what I want. And I love it. So I'll eat my lunch, which is still pretty much morning time, but for me, it's lunch, right? And then I'll go on another walk and I just explore the city. I will make more content if I choose. I'll go get my nails done or do self-care. Like I literally have the rest of the day to do what I want. I love that for me. Okay. You can structure your day however you please. If you're a night owl, you can do your business at night. Like who gonna check you? Who gonna tell you you can't record your content at nighttime? Maybe you are the girly who is the most insightful at midnight. That could be you. And you can do that. Maybe you do want to go live on your socials. You can go live any time of the day, any time of the night that you want. And I've always played around with my schedule. My schedule for myself was not always this way. I would say like 2 years ago more like 3 years ago, when I started my weight loss journey, and if you didn't know, I lost 100 pounds. When I started getting into the gym, I was going to the gym around 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 a.m.-ish. And so I would be out of the gym by around like 12 or 1. And so that schedule worked for me for a while. But then I was like, no, I think I want to do gym first thing in the morning. So then I played around with it and was doing it at 7 a.m. And that was cool for a little while. But then I was like, no, it's still too many people here. The work crowd is here before they clock in, right? So the gym is still kind of crowded. And I was like, I think I want to do earlier than that, right? I want to get to the gym before the work crowd. So that's how we landed on 4 a.m. And I love it. I absolutely love this for me. And so it's the freedom. Like when I go and get my nails done, I go during the day when ain't nobody in there. When I get in the nail salon, they're jumping up ready to service me because they're just sitting there playing on their phones. I love being able to get stuff done on the weekdays. I do not go out on weekends. Okay. You're not going to catch me at no nail salon on the weekends. You're not going to catch me at the grocery store on the weekends. I am in the house on the weekends because everybody else is outside on the weekends. I like when things aren't crowded, okay? And that's what content creation allows you to do. It allows you to work when you want, and you can take breaks when you want. Like, you don't have to put in a notice, an email, and wait for it to get approved by your supervisor. And then you're at the mercy of your supervisor. Like, I hope she approves my request to be off this weekend. Like, no, absolutely not. If you want to be off, you're off. Who's gonna check you? Who is gonna check you? And so what I love to do, so I do create content like all of the time, but I love it. It never really feels like work for me. But on the days that I get my lashes done, so I get my lashes done on Thursdays. And if you've gotten lash extensions, you know you can't wear makeup to the appointment because of the tape and all the stuff. So Thursdays are actually the day that I don't put myself together. So I don't do my makeup and I don't create content. I'll do back end stuff on Thursdays, like I'll edit, or I'll respond to emails, or I'll post inside of my Glow Up Academy, stuff like that. Or I'll even cue out some of my reels and things like that. But I don't create any content on Thursdays because I like to put myself together for my content. And then that's just the day that I don't, because I'm getting my lashes done. And I have the freedom to do that. I love how when I make a doctor's appointment, it's pretty much whenever they're available. I don't have to be like, oh, I can only go to the doctor appointment early in the morning, or, oh, I can only do it later on before I clock out. Like, I love being able to just open up my calendar and just let them tell me when is the next available time. All right, cool, I'll take it, right? But for me, the schedule that I'm running with now, being done with all of my content and my lives by 9 a.m., absolutely amazing. And the days that I don't go live, so I typically go live like 4 days a week. And because I'm on live for 3 hours, I've learned just like how much energy it takes for me to run my live for 3 hours. So I don't really do any more content after that. But the days that I don't go live, those are the days that I batch record for my YouTube, my long form videos. Those are the days that I take my pictures for Instagram, the days that I'm not on my live. So I love having that schedule. And also too, having that freedom, I think, has really allowed me the opportunity to get in such good shape. Like, I spend a lot of time exercising, and my exercising is not me sweating and looking like I just got out the shower. I used to work out hard like that, like when I first started my weight loss journey. But now that I'm settled in, I'm not new to it. I'm true to it, right? I don't really do all that extra. I don't be doing burpees, none of that. But I am constantly moving. So I'll lift for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I get 20K steps in. And 20K steps takes me about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And I split it up. So I'll do 10K steps early in the morning, and then I'll lift, and then I'll do my lives or make my content. And then a couple hours later, I'll go outside and walk my last 10K steps. So being able to have the freedom to do that and, really take care of my body. I spend a lot of time eating healthy foods. So cooking, preparing a lot of my meals from scratch. So it allows me the freedom to really take care of my health, which is just really important to me now. Another pro to being a full-time content creator is unlimited income potential. Like, when you have a job, they have a salary range, right? You can make between 40,000 and 60,000. But we all know that 60,000, that top end of the salary range, you're not going to make that. That's always reserved for the person who's been in that department for 20 plus years, right? And they are some type of supervisor or lead, right? 9 times out of 10, most of the people in the department are not making anywhere close to the higher end of that range. And you're pretty much stuck at your salary. Yeah, you can work some overtime, or you can get a part-time job, but who really wants to have 2 jobs? Like, I don't think there's anyone, at least in the US, who is like, I want to have 2 jobs. Like, my goal in life is to have 2 jobs. Most of the time when people have 2 jobs, it's because times are hard or they're saving for something, but it's not truly by choice. But when you have your business, when you are a content creator, you get to decide how much you want to make. And the possibilities are endless. There are plenty of creators who make $50,000 a year and they are good there. They might live in a city where the cost of living is not too high. And then you have other creators who are making millions upon millions, and you can choose what you want. Like, maybe, for instance, like let's say it's the summertime, right? And maybe you want to travel a few times through the summer. So you already know you have trips coming up. So in the winter months, in the spring months, you might go harder because you have more time, right? You're not traveling or whatever. And you're just going to go a little bit harder because you know when the summertime hits, you're going to take some trips, and you might not really want to be on social like that. Like, you're still going to post to keep your platforms active, but you might scale it back just a little bit because you want to spend time in Jamaica and you don't want to have to worry about making content. Or maybe you want to spend time in Spain and you don't want to have to worry about making content, right? Like, you know, you're going to take 2 weeks off this month. So you're going to plan your schedule around that. And on top of that, you ain't got to wait for your supervisor to confirm that you can take those days off. So it's a whole vibe, not having to worry about PTO and calculating how much time you have. And then don't get sick. And now you got to take time off. And now you got to use some of the PTO that you were saving for the vacation. No, not when you're a full-time creator. Like, you literally get to do what you want, and your income potential, it's really up to you. So I have several streams of income, and I did not always. Okay. So as I became more experienced and I got used to my flow and really just seeing my capabilities and, just learning myself and what works for me over the past few years, I've been able to expand and have several streams of income with my content. So I have Glow Up Academy, which is my private school community. Both of my YouTube channels are monetized. Well, I have a total of 3 channels. I have this one, I have my personal brand YouTube channel, and then I have my coaching channel. Both the personal brand channel and my coaching channel are monetized, so I get paid for that. My Instagram and my TikTok are monetized, so I get gifts and stuff on my TikTok lives. So I have lots of different streams of income. And I also have an OnlyFans, and we can talk about that in another video. And so there's so many different things that you can do. There's so many streams of income. I have an ebook that I was selling on my personal brand my personal brand YouTube channel when I was losing weight, and I was selling weight loss information and how to keep the weight off. So there's just so many things you can do. And who gonna check you? I'm telling you, once you get into content creation and you start to see the possibilities, you actually become addicted to it. Like, you become addicted to not only creating another source of income, but growing it. So I always teach my students, like, start with one idea. Start with your most favorite idea. Whatever it is that you could see yourself showing up for consistently, ask yourself, what is it that you would absolutely love to talk about all day, every day, if you could? Whatever that is, that's what you need to create, right? And then once you get into the flow of that, it's going well, you're being consistent, you're starting to build revenue from it, then branch off, keep what you're doing, don't stop, don't slow it down, keep what you're doing, but then add a second stream somewhere. Maybe you want to get on another platform. Maybe you want to grow another YouTube channel. Maybe you want to do a Patreon, right? Maybe you want to start getting brand deals. Like, whatever it is, you can do that, but always start with one, because one thing I have noticed about myself, and I know a lot of people struggle with this, if you start to feel overwhelmed, you're going to stop because you're going to freeze because you don't really know which direction to go in. So don't do that. Just focus on one thing, start growing that. And then over time, as you get more experience, you're more comfortable, you're more confident, then you can start adding something else, right? But the possibilities are absolutely endless. The next pro to being a content creator is you get paid to be yourself. I cannot stress this enough. Where else in life do you get paid to be you? Please break it down, because I'm confused. Because I haven't figured it out. The only place you can get paid to be you is social media. You don't have to filter yourself if you don't want to. You don't have to pretend that you're cool with certain stances on things. No, you don't. Some people do, maybe they have brand deals in place. So it's like they can't express their opinion, or the brand might drop them, right? They can't say certain things because it might be controversial to the brand that they're, an ambassador for. But that's not everybody's case. Like at all. Most content creators can say what they want. Most content creators can do what they want because they're not locked into a brand deal. And if that brand deal goes south, they're shit out of luck. They ain't got no money to, do anything. Most content creators, it's not like that. You can be yourself. And the best part of just being human is we're multifaceted. Like you have so many different thoughts. You have so many different parts of your personality. And so I love content creation because you can explore all parts, all interests that you have. You don't have to just stay in one niche. I mean, I am the niche, okay? I am the niche. And when I first started creating content, I thought I had to be in a niche. So when I first started, I was OnlyFans. So I was like, oh, I can't do this because that's not aligned with OnlyFans, or I can't do that because I have OnlyFans. No. You can do what you want to do, right? You can do what you want to do. Do not box yourself in. And I love content creation because you can take people on the journey. So when I first started 6 years ago, I was 340 pounds. Okay. I'm 6'3". So I was a very big girl, BBW all the way. Right. And so when I first started, especially being on OnlyFans, I was in the BBW niche. Right. Well, I got tired of being overweight. The shit wasn't fun. I was tired of being out of breath, climbing up one flight of stairs. Like the shit was getting old. Knees hurting, back hurting, sweating for no reason. Like that shit was getting old, right? So I was like, okay, it's time to lose some weight. I can't do this anymore. And so what I did was I took my whole community on my weight loss journey. I completely transformed my content. Okay. Now the content turned into me being in the gym. What kind of foods am I eating? My weight loss journey, like sharing how much weight I lost for the week, showing different things that I'm able to fit into now that I'm smaller. And once I lost all the weight, the crazy thing is I became so much more confident in myself. At the time when I was 340 pounds, I tried to convince myself that I was happy with how I looked because I didn't want to admit to myself that I wasn't. But deep down inside, I was not comfortable in my body, right? Like I just didn't like my stomach. I didn't like my arms. I didn't like having back rolls. Like I really just wasn't confident at that size. But now that the weight has come off, now that the body is toning up, now that the muscles are popping, now that I'm a size medium/large, girl. Can I let me tell you, your girl is feeling herself, like feeling herself. Body is tea. Okay. Body is tea. And so it's a different type of energy. And so now I get to make more content, but just showing like how confident I am in myself, like taking pictures and not caring about different angles because all angles look good. Right. I love that for me. I absolutely love that for me. And so now I'm like, well, shit, I love ordering stuff off of TikTok Shop, Fashion Nova, Amazon, and it fits the way it's supposed to. I love that for me. And now I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm going to start doing try-on hauls, like, because I'm always ordering clothes for my pictures and stuff like that. I'm like, I think we're about to enter into the realm of try-on hauls. So it's coming, right? But the point is, you get to make whatever type of content you want. And when I first lost the 100 pounds, I was so excited about being in the gym and trying different weightlifting equipment and really like on some bodybuilding type shit. And so I was documenting that. Like I would be in the gym every day for hours. Like you could tell I was new to the gym because that's not even necessary. But back then I was just so excited to be in the gym and knowing what I'm doing and feeling good in my new smaller body. So I was going crazy with it, but it worked because I was able to make fitness content, right? I was able to show people how to do different lifts, how to tone your back, how to do bicep work and stuff like that, how to hit a good leg day. Like, your content, you get to take your audience through all parts of your life, like, just your evolution as you transform, whatever you want to do. If you love doing hair, like, you could literally make content doing hair. And then maybe in a few years, you're like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of doing hair content. It's kind of played out for me. It's just not my vibe anymore, because we're always changing. We're always evolving. Nobody, I don't care how hard you try, it is very hard to stay the exact same, right? You are always evolving. And the beauty of content is, as you evolve, you can change up your content. You are not locked in to something, right? And when I did go on my weight loss journey, I really changed my mindset. And that's how the whole Coach Jazz era was born, like the whole Glow Up Academy. Like, that's how it was born, because anyone who has lost a significant amount of weight can tell you, even entrepreneurship too, you truly go on a spiritual journey. You truly take on a whole new identity, because who you used to be, you cannot be in a smaller body. You cannot be the same woman who is binge eating and trying to eat her emotions and lose weight. It don't work like that. You truly have to change your identity. You have to truly become a new person. You have to have a new relationship with food if you want to keep the weight off. The people who don't become a new person, that's why they always gain it back, because they didn't work on their mindset, right? Well, I did that. I worked on my mindset. I healed my traumas. And in the course of losing weight, I built a whole new identity of self. And I started to see how much your mindset and the things that you got going on in your head plays a role in how you show up for yourself. And through that transformation, I glowed up. I leveled up. And I was like, I really love talking about becoming a new woman. The transformation that you go on, how you start having boundaries for yourself, how you stop people pleasing, how you start building confidence in yourself, how you start loving yourself, how you start healing from toxic relationships. Like, I love that topic because I literally had to walk that path. And so I created my other YouTube channel, teaching other women how to level up their life. And that's the beauty of content, because through my weight loss journey, I was able to not only change myself, but help other people change themselves, right? All because I decided to show up and just share what I was going through. Like, on my weight loss and fitness channel, I would share times where, like, I wanted to binge eat. Like, if I was going through something, I'm like, gosh, the old me would have pulled up at Chick-fil-A and would have had the whole menu. I'm struggling with my cravings right now, or I'm struggling with exercising this week, or I might have put on a few pounds and, just trying not to beat myself up and keep going. Like, I shared all of that on my weight loss journey. And that's what makes you authentic. Like, just being yourself and not caring what people think, not caring what people say, and just showing up, because people connect with people who they resonate with, right? And so many women who are struggling with weight loss, they struggle with binge eating too. They struggle with, not getting down on themselves if they put on a couple of pounds when they know they're supposed to be losing it. And so whatever type of content you make or that you want to make, you are going to be able to help so many people. I cannot make this up. So, getting paid to be yourself. And that's the other thing too. Like, I was going to lose weight regardless, whether I recorded it or not, because I told y'all I was sick and tired of being overweight. I was tired of being 340 pounds. Like, that shit was not fun. I was like a 3X/4X. I think one time I had ordered something off of Fashion Nova and I got the 4X and it didn't fit. I was like, yo, I'm a 4X and it doesn't fit. Yeah. I was like, let me go ahead and get on this diet because this ain't gonna work out for me. So I was gonna lose weight regardless. And the beauty of creating content is the fact that you can document your entire journey, no matter what type of journey you're on, right? So that's definitely a pro. Okay, so let's talk about some of the cons of content creation. The first con is your income can and will be inconsistent. So you gotta learn budgeting skills. You better learn how to budget that money, girl, because if you don't, you gonna be broke, because all businesses go through this. You'll have some months where you might make 10K. And then you'll have other months where you're struggling to make 3. But if you don't develop financial literacy and you start opening up bills based on that 10K month, and then the next month you make 3K, it's going to be stressful. You're going to be trying to figure out what the hell we about to do. Like, don't set yourself up for that. All businesses have ups and downs. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you're running a business. Okay. Even the biggest businesses like Netflix and Amazon have months where they make a shit ton of money, like the holidays. And then they have months where people ain't spending like that, right? It just comes with the territory. I always suggest that when you are, when you're really in it, you're full time with it, base your bills off of the lowest amount you make. So let's say you do break 10K a month, right? Which is hard to do. Not impossible, but it's hard. Like, don't get down on yourself if you haven't done that yet. But let's say you do get to the point where your business is making 10K a month. But maybe 5 or 6 months ago, your business made 3K. Well, if you're trying to move, I would get your rent on something that you could afford if your business only made 3K that month. That's the best way to not be stressed about money, because let me tell you, being stressed about money, even if you have a job, like, that's not fun. Everybody at some point knows what it feels like to be stressed about money. That shit is not fun. So do not set yourself up for failure. Base your bills off of the lowest amount that your business has made. And don't you dare waver. Been there, done that, and let me save you some stress. Don't do it. I learned a lot about financial literacy being an entrepreneur. Those months where your business isn't making that much, that shit is annoying. For OnlyFans, I learned, so that's the crazy thing. When I got into OnlyFans, I got in when it was hot, right? COVID, everybody at home spending money, like people just spending hella bread. So, in the first few months, I was making crazy amounts of money. I was like, yo, this is how business works? Like, what? Okay. But what happened? People started going back outside. Times started getting hard and people stopped spending as much money, right? I didn't have the financial literacy that I have now. So I had went out and bought stuff thinking that I was always going to be making what I was making when everything was popping off. No. 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 Don't do that. Trust me when I tell you, go off of the lowest amount that your business makes and don't move from it. And if you do have months where you make a lot, save it. Like, it's okay to have money in a savings account. Don't feel like you have to spend it. Don't let that itch get the best of you, because that used to be like that too. I'd be like, ooh, I got like $2,000. I could easily go do this. I could go take a trip real quick. Don't do that. Don't do that. Learn how to let your money sit in a savings account and not be touched. One thing that I do to avoid that is my savings account, I do not have a card for. When the bank sent me the card, when I opened up that account and Bank of America sent me that card, I threw it out. I cut it up and threw it out. I didn't even activate the card. I do not have a card to my savings account. I wanted to make it annoying to have to go get the money out. So I can't connect it to any apps like DoorDash or Amazon. Like, I have to physically go to the bank. I have to stand in the line. I have to have my ID to pull money out. I made it so annoying so that I do not touch the money. So if that's what you got to do, then that's what you got to do. It's called self-awareness. You know how you are with your funds. So if that's the type of time you got to be on, then you need to be on it, because that's probably the biggest con of just entrepreneurship. Like, when you have a job, you're going to make money, right? In 2 weeks, that deposit gonna hit and you're gonna be up for a few days, right? but when you have a business, you might not be up for several weeks. You might not be up for several months. It is what it is. It happens to everyone. But like, listen to this video, listen to what I'm telling you, go off of your lowest month. I cannot stress that enough. Like, please listen to me. If you don't listen to nothing else, please listen to that. Okay. The next con, you are responsible for everything, okay? You are the cameraman, you are the videographer, you are the editor, you are the creative director, you are the assistant, you are the chatter, you are everything, okay? You are a one-woman show. You are a one-woman show, right? And so this is why I told you earlier, if you're trying to figure out what type of content to make content that you truly have a passion for, because all of these other roles that you have to play, it's going to be okay. Like, you're not going to mind it because you truly love what you do. You're also going to be your own accountant. Okay. You're going to be running your QuickBooks. You are everything. You are the VP. You are the CEO, the CFO. You are everything, right? As you make more money, you can start outsourcing. So on my OnlyFans, I took a break from OnlyFans. So I was running OnlyFans full time for the first year. Then once it was really, taken off, I started hiring assistants. So all I had to do was just focus on content, taking my pictures, building my platforms, and my assistants was taking care of the rest. Then I launched my coaching business in 2025, January 2025. And because I was learning so much about, what kind of product I wanted to create for that and how to run my TikTok lives and, so much stuff, like creating so much content for it. I actually took a year off from OnlyFans, but it was still making good money because I had assistants on it. It wasn't making as much as if I was on there, but it still was making a lot. So I'm truly blessed that I built that asset because of the fact that it allowed me to who can really take a whole year off from something to do something else? Most people can't do that. And so there's a lot of content creators. Like, there's this one girl that I watch on YouTube. I think her name is Vanessa. She took a whole 2 years off from YouTube just to try to find herself and figure out what she wanted to do, because she got burnt out from all the content she was making to grow her YouTube. She took 2 years off from YouTube, and her YouTube was still making money because people were still tuning into her old videos. So that's what I'm saying. Being a content creator, it really does allow you the opportunities to do things that most people can't do. And so while I was building my coaching business for the whole year, my coaching business was making money, but not like my OnlyFans. I was still able to take that year off and build that, right? And so now I'm back, but totally new approach. I still have my assistants helping me. I'm still taking my pictures or whatever, but it's a totally different approach. Because now I'm more locked into my coaching business. That's where I see myself long term. If you were to ask me, what is Jasmine going to be doing 10 years from now? Coaching, life coaching, mindset coaching, confidence coaching. That's the realm I want to go in. And I content allowed me to figure that out, right? So a lot of times, like I said earlier, you're always evolving. It's very hard to stay the same. And with content, you don't have to stay the same. You can transition. You can start off doing one thing, and in a year, 5 years, whatever, you could be doing something completely different, right? That's the beauty of internet. That is the beauty of internet. So, but you are responsible for everything until you start making money and you can start outsourcing stuff, right? So I didn't create, but I had a landing page created for me. I wasn't going to sit there and do it. I'm not coding nothing. I'm not setting up no website, but I was able to outsource that. So I went on Upwork and found somebody to create my landing page for me. I have assistants on my OnlyFans. I'm trying to think, what else do I have that I don't do? I do small stuff here and there. Most of the stuff is pretty easy to do yourself with ChatGPT. I still edit my content, but my content is very simple. Okay. When you start creating content, let me tell you this. it's so much easier to be consistent because you have to be consistent. Okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. You have to be consistent with your content. It's so much easier to be consistent with the content if the content you make is easy for you to produce. Okay. I've noticed about myself, this is self-awareness and just doing it over and over again and figuring out what works best for me. My content turns out so much better when I just let stuff flow. So like this audio right here, I'm not chopping up nothing. I'm not cutting anything out. What you hear is what was said, right? I'm not cutting anything out. I do that on my YouTube. So even on my Weight Loss and Fitness channel, I wasn't jump cutting. No, I like to just talk. I like to just flow. Even on my coaching channel, I am Coach Jazz. Like when I'm doing my videos in front of the camera, I just talk. I used to do car chat videos, but I don't really go anywhere anymore. So those kind of got a little difficult to do just because I don't drive around like that. I walk more often. So I just like to flow. Like I love creating content where I can just sit here and I'm just giving sister vibes, right? I'm just giving best friend vibes. Like I like to just talk. That's how the message gets relayed better for me, right? Maybe you're someone who loves to sit there and edit something. Good for you. More power to you. I'm not that one. Once I record it, I'm done. I don't want to have to rewatch it. I don't want to have to take things out. If I sneeze in the middle of the video, well, then I just sneeze. Because the minute I try to start over editing, now it becomes difficult for me to do. And then I start dreading it. And one boundary of mine with content, and I had to develop this boundary when I was doing OnlyFans. If it gets to a point where I dread it, that's not okay. That is not okay because I hate being miserable. It's like a trauma response because that 9-to-5 I had, oh my God, it was so toxic. And I remember how miserable I felt, and I never want to get in that mindset again. So if it gets to a point where I feel like I can't just be myself, I can't just let stuff flow, and now I'm overanalyzing and now I'm dreading it, no. Unacceptable. I will not allow myself to get into that state. So you have to be everything, but you need to create content in a way where it's most of the time enjoyable. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're not going to have days or even weeks where you're just kind of like, gosh, I don't really feel like doing this, but you should never dread it. You should never be like, what's the word? Like, you know that like when you gotta go to work. You know that feeling like when you got to go to work, like at least this was for me, you pull up at that job and you sitting in your car like, oh my God, it should never get to that point. If it gets to that point with your content, it's time to restructure. It's time to reroute because it should never get to that point. Okay. It should never get to that point. So figure out what type of content is going to be the easiest for you and the most natural because you are responsible for everything. Okay. So you can't always rely on motivation. Honestly, I don't feel like motivation really exists. I feel like that's just a figment of your imagination. It's really discipline, but you become more disciplined as you keep going, right? Like when I first started, I was undisciplined as hell, right? But now I'm so disciplined because I'm 6 years deep. I've learned what works for me. You know, so you got to figure out what works for you because you got to be consistent. The last con, and this is a big one for being a content creator. This is my experience. Okay. I can only share what I have gone through. I can't speak for everybody, but it can get very lonely. I think leveling up in general is lonely because you become a new person. Things that you used to tolerate, you no longer tolerate. And as you level up, as you lose weight, as you grow into your business, as you just grow within yourself, you stop tolerating a lot of bullshit, like from others and from yourself. And so it gets lonely because, believe it or not, a lot of people are not out here trying to be their best version. A lot of people have business ideas that they want to do, but they don't have the confidence to do it, like, at all. It just becomes something that they talk about but never accomplish, right? But you're actually about that shit. Like, you're actually showing up even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. And so you outgrow so many people. You might even outgrow some family, right? And so it can get really lonely. Now, I've told y'all in previous videos, I'm an introvert. I've always been an introvert. I don't like a lot of people anyway. I don't like large crowds. I get instantly irritated, but I do get lonely. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I think I made a video the other day. Yeah, I was talking about how sometimes I'd be lonely as hell. But loneliness is not a bad thing. See, I think sometimes people think if you're lonely, like you're depressed or it means there's something wrong with you. Loneliness is not a bad thing. It is normal to want human connections. We are humans. Like, you are supposed to hang out with people, at least from time to time. Like, it's not good to be isolated. That's why they say, like, solitary confinement is, like, really bad, because it'll drive people crazy because they literally can't do anything. But, like, running your own business, like, you're still doing what you love. So it's not like that. But the point I'm making is, like, as humans, it's normal to want friendships. It's normal to want a relationship. It's normal to want healthy dynamics. Like, there's nothing wrong with you because you want that. But it is going to be hard to find people that you can connect with if they are not like-minded like you. And then on top of that, when I first left my job, that's when it really hit me, like, how lonely this ride is about to be. Because at least when you're at work, even though you don't like the people you work with, you still are around people. There's still, break room banter going on, still jokes or, gossip here and there, right? You still have some interaction, and you kind of take that for granted. Or at least I did. So then when I'm home, trying to run my business, I'm like, dang, it's quiet as hell in here. It's quiet as hell in here. Ain't nobody talking about nobody. There's no work drama going on. There's no, like, back and forth. It's quiet in here, right? So that's when it hit me. I think because I used to be someone who just needed to be around people. I was not always the person that could just sit in solitude and be comfortable with it. Like, I couldn't do that back then. Now I can. I love it. But back then I couldn't do it. And so it hit me, like, I would say week 2. Like, week 1, I was still kind of like, okay, I'm making money online, period. But, like, by week 2, that's when it hit me, like, oh shit, I'm really by myself, like, working alone, being in your apartment, limited social interaction. Like, I was trying to maintain friendships, quote unquote friendships. People at work are not your fucking friends. But back then I thought they were my friends, right? This was the leveled down version of me. Okay. And so I thought they were my friends. And so, like, I would check my phone. I'd be like, dang, she didn't even text me. Dang, she not updating me on what's going on at work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just get a little lonely sometimes. But this is another reason why I tell you to create content and things that you like, because you don't feel lonely for long because you're really doing what you love to do. I think the loneliness would hit harder if I didn't really like what I was doing. Like, if I was making videos and I didn't like it, it would probably be even more lonely. Like, I told y'all in another video, I don't do my hair. Like, I don't know how to do hair, and I'm not interested in learning. Like, I'm not doing no type of deep condition. I'm not doing no type of treatments. I'm not braiding shit, okay? I'm not doing anything to my hair. The most I'm going to do is take these braids out, and then that's it. But if I had to make content doing hair, oh my God, that would be miserable. That would be absolutely miserable. I don't even comb my hair. I literally take my braids out and I go get it washed. I let them do it. I could not imagine doing hair content because I despise doing hair. So that would be miserable. But if you choose something that you love, like, I love working out. So that was easy for me to make content. I love talking about mindset and perspectives and changing yourself. I love talking about that. Like, I could talk about that all day, which is why I have 2 channels. I have this channel and my I Am Coach Jazz channel, literally talking about mindset and, your thoughts and perspectives and confidence. Like, I love these topics, which is why I'm able to talk about it every single day. So I don't feel lonely, right? But you are going to go through an isolation period. But I'm gonna just give you the truth. Like, I don't like to lie to people. I really don't like to lie to people. I like to just tell you what it is. But again, that's my experience. Some people have friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it does get lonely sometimes. Something else too, I struggled with trusting people. And I'm not sure if I made a video on this channel or my other channel, but when my friendships ended, I just went through this period of I was just really hurt. I was just really, really hurt. And a lot of that stemmed from giving more than what I was receiving. That's a lot of times. Think about a relationship. If you and your boyfriend break up, right? And you're hurting, a lot of times, not always, right? But a lot of times it's also because you gave a lot more than you felt like you received. Right? So you overextend, you overgive, you don't stay firm to your boundaries. And that can also happen in platonic relationships too. And so I was just really hurt. And, I've healed. I've definitely done the inner work. I've gone to counseling. I am over it. I am content. Or I'm indifferent, I should say, right? When you healed, when you're healed, when you're indifferent, not when you're mad, not when you're resentful, not when you hate them, but when you've become indifferent to it. That's when you know that you have healed from it, right? But when I was still unhealed from it, I struggled with trusting people. I struggled with letting my guard down and allowing myself to be vulnerable again with people and, share things about me. And so I think that contributed to the loneliness as well. But you also, on the other side of that, you learn what to look out for. You learn the red flags. You learn the yellow flags. You learn the green flags, right? So there's pros and cons to that, but it can get lonely. And I think too, a lot of times just people can't relate to entrepreneurship. Most people go to work. Most people are not out here running businesses, or they got an LLC but ain't did shit with it, right? So, it's just you're just different. You're just different, not in a bad way. You're just different. But I do believe that you will find your tribe, whether that's other content creators, whether that's just other women who are trying to advance in their careers. You'll find your tribe, but it can get lonely. But throughout all of this, you have a lot of freedom. But sometimes that freedom does come with a lot of alone time. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's not as easy as it looks. It does require discipline, self-awareness, and consistency. But I truly love my life. I am genuinely happy. And content creation changed and saved my life. But leave a comment down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay beautiful, ladies.